Hi, Stepan. How are you?
Oh, great. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. So, there's a lot going on in Russia right now. Can you tell me a little bit about what life is like for young Russians?
The Russian changes to see it from sociological or economical perspective. We'll see rising prices, growing inflation, goods banned from Western countries. But in general, it didn't change how young people think about the situation in the country or in the world.
What we see from the data is that about 8 in 10 young Russians say that they're very proud or somewhat proud to be a Russian citizen. What can we say about Americans? How do we compare with Russians?
Americans have a lot more negative outlooks. More than half of young Americans think their career prospects are worse than they were just 5 years ago. Less than 2 in 10 report feeling excited or optimistic about it. Young Americans are just overwhelmingly negative toward, their economic future.
Interesting who is more realistic. It's quite divided, and that's what we get from our data. Very similar shares of Russian youth are simultaneously positive and negative about Russia's future and Russian government. Probably it's not that evident like in America, but still we see this polarization. What we also can say that about Russian youth, that about half of them think that democratic system is preferable over authoritarian, but only slightly less, about 40% say that an authoritarian rule is acceptable.
We actually asked Americans if they have a preference toward democracy as opposed to any other sort of governmental system, and 6 in 10 said that they prefer democracy and views their own democracy as backsliding and eroding. In the 2023 Chicago Council survey, more than half of Americans between the ages of 18 to 34 said that weakening democracy and political polarization are critical threats to the vital interests of the United States in 10 years.
And I think it's really important and really interesting conversation about how polls are conducted in both America and Russia.
Thank you so much, Stepan, for your time and chit-chatting with me today.
Thank you, Lama.